YouTube going, the Goat House is back, and the green screen hoodie's back. We're blended in real nice. We got the Eagles GLD shop chain to go along with it. Code GOAT on the GLD shop as well as Liquid IV. But we're here with our score predictions every single Wednesday. Here we are in week 14. Going through every game, giving you my score prediction and picks against the spread at the end. We'll kind of recap all those against the spread picks for you guys. Follow us on Twitter. A lot of live updates, news, rumors, and more. Link pin in the comments for that. Anything else you're looking for. Full NFL coverage here at the Goat House. We even got a recent mock draft. Check it out. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on. Thursday night football is the Raiders in the Rams. The Rams just claimed Baker Mayfield. There's a shot he plays. That's a little surprising because they claimed him on Tuesday night. And they play on Thursday night. I'm going to go Raiders 26-17 in this one, so have them just covering that 6 spread there. I just don't trust the Rams offense to get a whole lot going. I think the Raiders should get pressure. You know, Chandler Jones starting to get going. Finally, Max Crosby has been a defensive player of the year type player. So those guys should have a day. Those guys should definitely have a day. I just don't think the Rams can do enough on offense. The Raiders been getting their offense going a little bit. Won't go maybe too crazy in this game, but you kind of got to worry about everything when you play the Raiders offense. The pass, the run game with Josh Jacobs. So I like them winning 26-17 again. Just don't expect the Rams to have enough offense, and I like that the Raiders are rolling right now. But it is in LA, prime time, but there'll probably be more Raiders fans there, just kind of how it goes. But the next game, Sunday slate of games, Jets at Bills. The Jets beat them the last time around. They put up a good fight with the Vikings last week. 9.5 seems like a pretty big line. I guess I can see they're probably getting at the Bills winning by 10 there as a possibility. I could see it. And the Jets keep it closer just because they play really solid defense. They played incredible defense last time they played the Bills. So I don't expect the Bills going crazy offensively here, but doing enough here. So 23 points and the Jets getting 16. Can they get the ball in the end zone? Unlike last week, they moved the ball, but they got all field goals for the most part, besides one where they got one touchdown. It was on 4th down. So they got to punch the ball in the end zone here. I don't expect them to do enough offensively here, but I have the Bills winning by 7, which is cutting it close at 9.5. But that 9.5 seems like a lot. I was a little surprised by that, but it is in Buffalo. They're trying to get revenge here, so we'll see. Next game, Browns and Bengals. This is going to be a really good game. I got the Bengals winning. The 6 seems like a lot because I really could see the Browns winning this game as well. So I have a squeaker, 1-point win for the Bengals. Main reasons, Bengals are hot. They're better than they were the last time they played the Browns. They figured something out. They're home in this game, kind of revenge from last time. They got Jamar Chase back. Mixon should be back. That doesn't really matter, though, because P. Ryan's been playing very well. I still think we'll see a bit of him in this game. The Browns, Watson maybe still knocking off the rust, but that could be a reason the Browns win. I mean, the matchup for itself, you look at it last time, the Browns, plain and simple, just got pressure on Burrow constantly all night to kind of help them get a good lead. They also run zone coverage. The Bengals prefer to play against man. And then offensively, the physicality of the Browns' run game, led by Nick Chubb, was just too much of a problem. And you're going in to play the Browns against Deshaun Watson. You got a game plan for that as well. You're like, are they going to throw the ball a lot? Because they have Watson. We have to deal with his scrambling. But what beat us last time was besides the Browns' defense and the pressure, was the run game led by Nick Chubb there. So maybe the Bengals they could be in their own heads with the game plan in this game. It's a little tough to deal with. So the Browns just always seem to beat the Bengals. So maybe there's just something with the matchup there. I could definitely see the Browns pulling it off. But in Cincy, while they're hot, I got hot streaks for anyone. It doesn't continue forever. So, it's not like they're going to continue to win, but they're playing really good football right now. The offensive line's playing better than it was. Not that it's great at all, but it's playing better than it was. So it's an interesting one. This is a big game. This is a really big game. The Browns trying to fight back to a lower seed in the playoffs. They believe they can do that with Deshaun Watson, the talent they had to let some games slip away. So to kind of stay alive here, it's a big game for the Bengals. Like, can they beat the teams that don't have the greatest matchup? The best teams in football find a way around that matchup, find ways to win. Are they just good against specific type of teams here? So we're going to learn a lot from this game. It's a big one. I'm surprised about that 6 line spread there. But I have the Bengals just squeaking by here in this one, but should be good. Should be really good. Texans and Cowboys, a whopping 16 spread. It was 17, bumped down to 16. The Texans are starting Davis Mills, who I do think is better than Kyle Allen, but Mills has had some turnovers at some crucial moments, and the Cowboys create turnovers. They're going to get pressure on Mills. Obviously, it's going to be a tough task. I don't expect the Texans to do much offensively. They're going to have to come out and pound the football. It looks like you could run somewhat well on the Cowboys' run defense, so Pierce could have a solid game. So I expect a lot of running clock, not too many opportunities for scoring, but the Cowboys can get points in seconds, whether it's defense creating for offense or the offense. So the Cowboys should mainly stick to the run game in this one, and they should have some explosive plays for touchdowns. So 16 seems like a bit much, given that I think the clock will be running big time based on what both teams will do. So, but it's pretty close. A 14-point win, 27-13 Cowboys. Next game, Vikings and Lions. This should be a fun one. I think it's going to be a absolute shootout. I saw the over-under was lower 50s. I was surprised by that. I just see both teams scoring good amount of points here, but I'm going to go Vikings 30-28. They're underdogs by 2.5. I can see this one going either way. The Lions are playing much better ball right now. They almost had the Vikings last time around. They're going to be able to move the ball. They're going to be able to score. Amon-Ra St. Brown should have a good day. The running back should have a decent day. Goff, obviously, they should protect Goff pretty well like they have been doing. The Vikings have been throwing out some unique type pressures. There's not enough within games, so they kind of save it for the end, crucial moments. So the Lions should be able to move the ball, but I think the Vikings will as well. Jefferson didn't play his best game the last time he played the Lions. They were doubling and tripling actually at times. Do they have a different plan? Do the Vikings have a plan to get him going more? I'd bank on him having a much better game this time around. The Vikings got Cook going last week, so got a game plan for everything here. So I'm going to go with the Vikings just scoring enough points. The Vikings just find ways to just edge out their opponents. It seems like every week, minus the 2 weeks, and that might have been against the two teams that are better than them in the NFL. So I'm going to trust the Vikings a little bit more. Lions have been very impressive. Do I trust them in a game we know will be closed coming down to the wire? That is the big question. But they've been impressive recently. This should be a fun one. I was originally going to go Lions in this one, actually. As you can tell, I think this game could go either way. I was a little surprised by the Vikings being 2.5-point underdogs. I understand it. Just a little surprised. Jags and Titans. We don't know if Trevor Lawrence is going to play his day-to-day. So that kind of makes me want to side a little bit more towards the Titans -4 rather than the Jags +4. But I'll go Titans in a bounce-back game. Derrick Henry should have a solid game. They haven't really got him going in the last 3 or so weeks. The offensive line's been struggling a little bit. They might make a change at the left tackle position from what I've heard. They fired their GM, John Robinson, which was a bit of a surprise earlier this week. That was actually yesterday. I don't think that's really changed as much with the game, but I think a bounce-back game for the Titans. I guess obviously pretty crucial if Lawrence is playing or not, but I just don't expect them to do a whole lot against that Titans defense. Can the Jags get the run game going against maybe the best run defense in football? It'll be a little tricky. So I'm going to go Titans winning by 6 here. But again, a lot rides on if Trevor Lawrence plays or not. I still like the Titans either way. Eagles and Giants. Spread is 7. I have the Giants just covering that, actually, 26-20. So I think the Giants can keep it somewhat close. Barkley hasn't been going crazy recently. I think I don't know if breakout's the right word because he's already broken out plenty of times, but maybe another breakout game where it's kind of been nothing crazy. He's had good games here and there. He had a nice touchdown run last week, but I think he has a pretty big game in this one. I think a lot of running clock. The Eagles last week went towards the pass game because the Titans stopped the run. The Giants better against the pass than against the run, so kind of the opposite. The Eagles will kind of go back to that run game. So a lot of running clock in this one. I'm just going to trust the Eagles and Jalen Hurts a little bit more, but Giants at home, they could make it interesting. 7, it seems like a lot. I have it really close with the 6, but Giants could make this game interesting. Can they do enough offensively? Again, I think Barkley could have a decent game, but I'm just going to trust Hurts and the Eagles a little bit more here in this one, especially when you look at maybe offensive line versus pass rush on both sides. But the Giants' pass rush has been picking it up, but you're playing probably the best offensive line in football here in the Eagles. So a true test. Azeez Ojulari had a monster game last week. Kayvon Thibodeaux's been getting pressure. I think he got on the board with a sack last week as well. So the Giants pass rush really coming together. That could, if they can just get that pressure, that like they have been recently, that other teams have not been getting on, Hurts and the Eagles, then that could be a game changer there. Ravens and the Steelers, it should be a tight one like it always is. Ravens, Steelers, and Lamar Jackson probably not playing. It's going to be Tyler Huntley likely, which I don't know if it changes a whole lot. I do think Lamar's a lot better, but just the way the Ravens offense has been playing recently, the Steelers defense has been playing very well as well, but and the Ravens defense has been playing well. So this is going to be a tight one. It's tough to bet on because it's 2.5, and you can definitely realistic to see the Steelers win by 3 points and then cover that. I just think it's going to be so damn tight, like it always is. In Pittsburgh, though, Steelers are playing much better football recently, the second half of the year. Ravens still a little, iffy with that offense, and especially if they don't have their quarterback. So I'm going to trust the Steelers a little bit more, but just pulling off a squeaker here, 17-16 in Pittsburgh. Chiefs and Broncos, very confident with the Chiefs over the Broncos in this one. I just don't expect the Broncos to do a whole lot offensively. 13, is that maybe the max they get? That's kind of what it feels like at this point. Broncos play decent defense, so I don't expect the Chiefs to go crazy. They'll definitely do enough here. 9.5. I'm actually surprised it's not double digits. I really am surprised it's not a double-digit spread. So what does Vegas know over there? Why do they feel it's going to be kept close? The Broncos can play some good defense against them, but I like the Chiefs, barely covering, but I like them winning by double digits in this game. I just don't think the Broncos can do enough offensively here. Could the Chiefs use Melvin Gordon? That's a possibility against his former team. Does he fumble? That's a possibility. They may not use him at all. Bucks and 49ers, a tricky one with the spread as well, which is 3.5. It's a good spot to make it interesting, but I got the 49ers winning by 4. The Bucks offense has been bad this year. It hasn't really got anything going. Tristan Wirfs is out, don't forget, going against Nick Bosa in this pass rush. Drake Jackson's been a sneaky rookie. They got Armstead in there who moves around a bit as well. And again, the Bucks offense hasn't been able to do much. It seems like they can do a lot in the closing minutes of games when they go no huddle. Could be the case in this game again, perhaps. The 49ers got the best defensive football. They're going to be getting pressure. They're not going to allow the Bucks to do much offensively. I just don't trust them to score many points here. I don't think the 49ers will score much either, but they're always tough to play no matter who's at quarterback. It'll be Brock Purdy this week, obviously, but I think they'll find a way to kind of wear the Bucks defense out, get physical, run the football, run the clock, find the end zone. So I'm going to go with the 49ers winning by 4, but it should definitely be a defensive game. A defensive game, I'm going to take the best defensive football, obviously. Panthers, Seahawks. I'm going Panthers in the upset in this one. So a little bold, obviously a squeaker here, 24-23. They're plus 3.5 points. I did see before recording this that Foreman could be out. He's dealing with a foot injury. He hasn't practiced yet. But they got Hubbard in there. Obviously, Hubbard could play just as well. I do like Foreman, though. He's pretty underrated. He has that physicality to his game that wears defenses out. So that is tough. I was feeling Foreman in a matchup like this. So that's pretty tough. But I like the matchup for the Panthers. The only thing I don't like is that it's in Seattle, for the Seahawks case there, and that Foreman might be out. But Panthers been putting up some good fights, playing some decent ball. They know that the NFC South is up for grabs. They're playing for something. I know the Seahawks are playing for something as well. They've been running the football very well. The Seahawks struggle stopping the run. When teams kind of control the clock against the Seahawks, it kind of throws them off. The Panthers can do that. Darnold played pretty well against the Broncos. Solid defense last time around. They had the bye to game plan for this. I don't think Darnold's a good quarterback, but it's a little different than the Panthers been all year. So it's gonna be not the easiest thing to game plan. I think you can have a decent game in this one. And again, the Seahawks they know they can't stop the run that well. They know the Panthers like to run, so they stack the box, and then maybe Darnold can distribute to the playmakers. Led by DJ Moore there. So I just like the matchups. And on top of that, the Panthers been playing really, really good defense. They got some solid young corners out there locking it down. Brian Burns has been getting good pass rush. I just like the matchup for the Panthers. I think the Seahawks are definitely better overall. Maybe Geno Smith, Metcalf, and Lockett just have that extra juice, the extra play there to win this game. It's very possible. Something else I'm looking out for that's big in this game is we talk about Foreman possibly missing the game, but Kenneth Walker, the star rookie running back of the Seahawks, if he's out, man, Homer's dealing with, who I like, is dealing with an injury. DJ Dallas, who played with an injury last week, they're a little short on running backs. They signed Wayne Gallman, so that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on there. Multiple reasons why I like the underdog in this game. But the Seahawks overall are better. They have more explosiveness on offense in their home. They got that 12th man, so the Seahawks could win for that reason. But Panthers should keep this one close. They should definitely keep. I was surprised by the 3.5. That I've been smarter if it was like a 2.5, because I could see the Seahawks winning by 3 there. That should be an interesting game there. The Panthers trying to stay alive in the NFC South. The Seahawks haven't been playing the best ball recently. They were pretty hot before that, though. Do they get back on track? This is a Sunday night game. Dolphins, Chargers. I'm going to trust the Dolphins this one. It is in LA in prime time. We've seen the Chargers have a couple of those games recently. They usually start off pretty hot in those games, but then, can they finish? That's the question. The Dolphins struggled last week. They played the best defense in football in the 49ers. The Dolphins usually are a problem. Their offense is usually a problem against pretty much any other defense. The Chargers defense isn't playing the greatest right now. They can't stop the run, so the Dolphins can come out and run the ball with Mostert and Wilson. But the Chargers also do have to worry about that pass game with Tua and Tyreek and Waddle. So I think the Dolphins just do enough offensively. The Chargers almost kind of shoot themselves in the foot offensively. It's like, sometimes they don't run enough, or they just pass their way into, punting the ball, or, some incompletions there. But, Herbert, I love me some Herbert, but I just don't love the play calling of the Chargers right now. I just don't trust this team right now. They are pretty beat up as well. So Dolphins defense, I think you can make some plays in this game. I think their blitz, man coverage could throw off the Chargers a little bit. So it's tough with the spread there, but I'll take the Dolphins 27-23 in this one Sunday night. And Monday night game is a tough one to pick. The Patriots are favored. It is in Arizona. Cardinals do struggle at home. That's pretty tough. I'm feeling feeling the Cardinals in this one. I do like the matchup as well, though. I like that they had a bye to kind of game plan for this. Sit down, watch the film, see what works against the Patriots. And usually scrambling quarterbacks do that, or if you got some design runs. And the Cardinals are very, very, very capable of doing that, especially off the bye with a rested Kyler Murray. So I think they'll do that. Also, the Patriots with a lot of man coverage. Dealing with guys like DeAndre Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, these guys. I think some things side towards the Cardinals there. So I think they'll have some big offensive moments, but I don't have them scoring a ton of points because they kind of shoot themselves in the foot offensively as well, so they'll kind of stall at times, miss their opportunities. But I think Kyler kind of controls the game with his legs mainly. And the Patriots, it's hard to trust them offensively right now. The play calling is not great. They just don't have enough, really. I like me some Ramondre Stevenson. I think he can have a decent game here, but just not enough in this one. I like the matchup siding with the Cardinals at home off the bye, but they do struggle at home sometimes. So they struggle in general. But I got the Cardinals winning this one. Maybe a little, not a surprise that the Patriots are favored 1.5. I guess that's pretty low, but that's a tough one. That's definitely a tough one there. I think a lot of people are picking the Patriots out there. But recapping the picks against the spread for Week 14, Raiders, I got them covering the -6. The Jets plus 9.5. 9.5 seems like a lot. 6 seems like a lot for Browns-Bengals. That game should stay tight. Texans 16's quite a bit. Vikings very well could win that game. They're plus 2.5. Titans -4. Keep an eye out for Trevor Lawrence possibly missing that game. Giants plus 7. Probably one I wouldn't touch. It's pretty damn close to that. Ravens plus 2.5. It should be a tight game, but they could lose by 3. The Chiefs -9.5. They should beat the Broncos by double digits. 49ers Bucks probably one I wouldn't touch, but I do have them covering the 3.5. I like the Panthers plus 3.5, and they have a shot to win that game. 3.5. I like that it's sitting right above that 3. So the Panthers lose by 3, you're still good. Dolphins -3. Definitely another one I wouldn't touch. Gonna be very close. Cardinals plus 1.5 looks pretty good. If they lose, either way, that game should be pretty damn tight. That game should be. If somebody's gonna beat somebody's ass in that game, I don't think it's going to happen, But I would think the Cardinals, if you told me it's an ass beating, all right, tell me what team won. You can see the future. I'd say the Cardinals probably would, just because of Kyler Murray's running ability. But that game should be really, really close. Of course, somebody could win by a field goal, and that could change some things there if you have money on it. But Cardinals got a decent shot to win that game, plus 1.5. So those are my picks against the spread for Week 14. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. We're always talking with you guys on Twitter at GoDustNFL. There's a link pinned in the comment section for that. Anything else, or sponsors, things like that. Head over to our channel. Check out those recent videos. While you're there, like, subscribe to notifications on me. Much, much appreciated. That's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.